And we are live for week 7, talking some starts, talking some sits, lineup questions. Let's get right on into it. We got Facebook and YouTube to the front. We got TikTok over on the side here. So if you see me looking both ways, that is why. We'll start with some YouTube questions. Mooney or Pickens in PPR this week? I'm gonna go with Mooney because Pickens is my sit of the week over on our YouTube. So I'm gonna go with Mooney. Let me pull up our NFL schedule so I make sure I know what I'm talking about. Alrighty then. Downs, Watson, or McConkey over on YouTube. If I'm looking at it this week, I think I'm gonna go with Downs this week over there. Over on TikTok, we got Tyreek or Juju Smith-Schuster. Can you believe we're asking that question in week 7? It's a valid question. I'm not saying it's not, but can you believe that we're asking it? I'm going to go with Tyreek in that one. I'm still going to trust in Tyreek. Over on TikTok, again, Tyrone Tracy for Addison in a trade. I think I'm going to stay with all right, yes, I think I would take Addison in that one. I'm going to take the better player for sure. Jordan Addison or Curtis Samuel over on TikTok. I think I'm going to stick with Jordan Addison. He is my start of the week that I had on our podcast that comes out on Thursdays or on YouTube. So I'm going to go with Jordan Addison in this one. On the YouTube, we got Juju or Wandale. I think I'm going to go with Juju actually in this one. I think he's probably, if we're looking at who's going to see volume, I think Juju's probably going to see a lot of volume as well. Baker or Hurts? Baker or Hurts? That's an interesting question. I think you got to stick with Hurts against the Giants. Baker, though, I think is a fantastic start this week. Over on YouTube, David Montgomery or Jaden Reed, and your flex half PPR. Ooh, that is a spicy one. Honestly, think I'm going to go Jaden Reed this week. I think that's going to be a high-scoring matchup between them and the Texans. And I think the Vikings got a pretty solid run defense. So I'm going to go with Jaden Reed over David Montgomery. Mike Evans or Jaden Reed? I'm going to go with Jaden Reed just because Mike Evans has been a little bit banged up this week. I understand. I know it's a great matchup for the Buccaneers against that Ravens pass defense, but I am going to go with Jaden Reed. Tank Dell or Aaron Jones? I'm going to go with Tank Dell again. Lions, a great run defense, similar to the Vikings. And, Aaron Jones has been banged up a little bit. So, yeah, take Tank Dell against the Packers. Kenneth Walker or Aaron Jones? See, that one's tough too. Both been questionable throughout the week. I'm going to stick with Kenneth Walker in this one, though. So I'm going to go Kenneth Walker over Aaron Jones. Josh Downs or JSN? Give me Josh Downs. Jordan Mason or Jordan Addison? What an interesting question. I feel like the correct answer probably should be Jordan Mason, but I want to say Jordan Addison. Jacobs, Hall, Achane, or Walker, pick 2. I'm going to go Hall and Walker probably today. Njoku or Schultz at the tight end position. Let's go. I would go David Njoku. I understand Nico Collins is out, but I think, with no Amari Cooper, Njoku's the default number 1 option for Cleveland this week. Love or Burrow? That's a good one. Let me consult our weekly rankings real quick, who I got higher. Remember, guys, you can find our weekly rankings over in our Discord, which is in our bio. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, it's in the description of the video. I got Burrow a little bit higher than Love, so I'm going to take Burrow this week, just a couple spots higher. Let's see, Aaron Jones or Nick Chubb? Stick with Aaron Jones. Give Nick Chubb a week to come back. Obviously, it's Nick Chubb, so he could be phenomenal in his first week back, but we're going to assume he's a little ramp-up time coming back. Najee or Tyreek this week? Give me Tyreek over Najee. Higgins or Dell? I like that question a lot. I'm going to actually go back to my rankings just to see who I have higher. And it looks like I do have T. Higgins 1 spot higher than Tank Dell. So I don't think you can go wrong with either, but I do have T. Higgins higher than Tank Dell. Stroud or Kirk this week? Ooh, that's a good question. Tyler actually had CJ Stroud at his start of the week. over on our YouTube channel. I do have Stroud higher still. I think, again, that's going to be a very high-scoring game. I want as much CJ Stroud in that one, as much Texans, Packers in this one. Let's see. Who should I trade, Wandale or Shaheed for? Well, I clicked on the wrong one. I meant this one. There we go. Who should I trade, Wandale or Shaheed for? Well, Shaheed is out for the season, so you're probably not going to be able to trade him unless you got a real sucker of a league mate. But Wandale, you could look for a low, a middling running back. Raheem Mostert, I don't hate there. Chase Brown, I don't hate if you're running back needy. So guys like that. Let's see. Jordan Love or Kyler. I'm gonna go with Jordan Love. Just because, I do have Jordan Love ranked higher in this one. I usually am a Kyler guy. I usually rank Kyler very high, but this Chargers defense is for real. They're gonna want to control the clock, run the ball. So I'm gonna go with Kyler. Over on TikTok, we got Marvin Harrison Jr. or Jordan Addison. Another good question. I think I do still have Marvin Harrison Jr. ranked higher, but I do love Jordan Addison in this one. I have Marvin Harrison as my wide receiver 20. Jordan Addison is my wide receiver 24. So I really don't think you go wrong with either. I do lean Marvin Harrison just slightly. Brock Purdy or Jalen Hurts. I am Jalen Hurts this week. I'm Jalen Hurts pretty much every week. He's one of those guys that, unless it's Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels now, or Josh Allen, is pretty much locked in that it's going to be Jalen Hurts. David Njoku or George Kittle over on TikTok. I'm going to still go with George Kittle. I still think George Kittle's got to be a top 3 tight end moving for the rest of the season, the way he's been playing, the way Brock Purdy's been throwing him the ball. I just don't think you can get wrong. TikTok, I see we're almost up to 1,000 likes. I want to thank you very much for that. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Drake London or Stephon Diggs this week. So I think that Atlanta-Seattle game is going to be very high scoring. I think that the Houston-Green Bay game is going to be very high scoring. I currently have Stephon Diggs as my wide receiver 9. Drake London is my wide receiver 7. Don't think you can go wrong in either, but I do lean Drake London just slightly. Amari Cooper or Josh Downs. Let's have these Amari Cooper, Davante Adams to talk real quick. Should you be starting them this week? Should you be trusting them? How are we going about that, right? They've only been on their new teams for about 5 days. Davante Adams, I'm more inclined to trust because it's him and Rodgers, right? Rodgers has that rapport with him. Rodgers is going to trust him in situations where I just don't think Josh Allen's going to trust Amari Cooper yet, just because he's only been around Amari Cooper for a couple of days. So I think you can throw both in your lineup. I have a lot more confidence in Davante Adams, but I would be a little more hesitant on Amari unless you're pretty needy for a wide receiver this week. Josh Downs or Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm going Josh. No, I'm not. I'm going Juju Smith-Schuster this week. Miami's got a decent pass defense. Anthony Richardson's first game back. We'll see how the passing volume is over there. Over on TikTok, I think there's a couple questions over there. T. Higgins or Jaden Reed. I got T. Higgins over Jaden Reed. Deontay Johnson or Christian Watson. I'm going Deontay Johnson. Eckler or Chubb. That's an interesting one this week. If I'm looking at my rankings right now, I do think I have Eckler just slightly above Chubb. I lied. I have Chubb ahead of Eckler by 1 spot. So maybe I would, according to my rankings, I would take the chance on Chubb. I think Eckler's probably the safer option. But obviously, Chubb could be huge this week. So don't hate taking the chance there. And Njoku or Bowers, I would still go Bowers. I think, no Davante Adams, default wide receiver, tight end or number 1 option for both of them. But I think Bowers, we've seen consistent volume from all season long. So I'm going to lean him there. Trey Sermon, Jordan Mason. And then, so I'm going Jordan Mason over Trey Sermon. I don't want to trust Trey Sermon. I am starting Trey Sermon in the league. I have a dynasty league right now, and I've got Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, and Travis Etienne. So, at the beginning of the year, I felt pretty good. Yeah, no, I'm starting Trey Sermon this week. That's how down bad I am. But I would go Jordan Mason and then pick 2 between Addison, DK, or Evans. I'm going to go DK and Evans in that one. Chase Brown and Jordan Madison over on TikTok. I think you got to go. Man, I already forgot what the question was. I'm going to go with Chase Brown. It's the only name I remember. Addison or Tyreek? Go Tyreek still. So Tyreek this week, he's another one. Let's just have that conversation real quick for everyone who's on. Tyreek Hill, I'm starting. He's a guy I'm trusting this week. He's a guy I have as top 10 wide receiver option. I don't think you can really go, I shouldn't say top 10, top 15 wide receiver option. I understand it's Tyler Huntley, but coming out the bye week, Huntley had only been there for 4 days in the last game. I think that we're going to see a good week from Tyreek this week. And then hopefully, we get Tua back the week after that. Let's see. Josh. Oh no, I missed. Ladd, Josh Downs, JMO, or Marvin Harrison Jr. Give me Marvin Harrison Jr. and JMO in this one. Over on TikTok, we got Aaron Jones or Marvin Harrison in your flex. Great question. I'm gonna go Marvin Harrison still. Like I said, that Detroit deep run defense is nothing to mess with. Very, very good. Been very, very strong this year. Aaron Jones dealing with that hip injury. I just don't know if I want to trust the two of them. TikTok again. I see you guys almost at 2,000 likes. Want to thank you guys very much for that. Sam Darnold or Anthony Richardson this week. Anthony Richardson was Tyler's sit of the week, which I thought was pretty ballsy of him. I'm still leaning Richardson over Sam Darnold, but I do think that one is actually very close for Richardson's first week back. Purdy or Cousins. I got Brock Purdy a couple spots lower than Kirk Cousins, so I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins in that one. Deontay Johnson or Darnell Mooney? Give me Deontay Johnson. I know he's been questionable this week, but as long as he's playing, I would trust Deontay Johnson, especially who do they have against Washington, who has a very weak pass defense right now. David Montgomery or Nick Chubb? Give me David Montgomery. Brandon Ayuk or Marvin Harrison Jr. So this is right, 2 second-round wide receivers. You're probably feeling pretty disappointed in either of them. If you had them at the beginning of the year, you're feeling confident. I lean Marvin Harrison Jr. just slightly. I think this Kansas City defense is pretty for real. I also think the Chargers defense is as well, but I'm going to lean Brandon Ayuk in that one. Let's see here. Garrett Wilson or Jameson Williams? This is an interesting one. I still lean Garrett Wilson. I still think he's going to get the volume. Like I said earlier, I trust Davante Adams this week because it's Aaron Rodgers, but at the same time, the whole playbook's not going to be open to Davante because he's not going to know the entire thing, right? He's going to remember a lot of it because it's going to be similar as Nathaniel Hackett's playbook. He was, used to it in Green Bay, but it's still going to be a little bit different. It's still going to take a little bit of time to get in that offense. So I think Garrett Wilson's safe this week at least. Lamar Cousins, Lamar Jackson, hands down. You got Lamar Jackson. You start him as of right now. He's been on fire. Roll with Lamar. Jaden Reed or Tank Dell. I'm going Jaden Reed. I got Jaden Reed as a top 12 option this week. Tank Dell not too far behind him, but I comfortably say Jaden Reed in that one. Garrett Wilson or Marvin Harrison. Again, another difficult question to ask. I'm going Garrett Wilson. I know it's a pretty decent matchup against Pittsburgh, but I am going to go to Garrett Wilson in that one. Tucker Kraft or David Njoku. I got David Njoku this week. Kraft going against Houston. Houston's given up 2 receptions and 23 yards to tight ends on average this season. So I just don't really want anything to do with Tucker Kraft. And then let's see. I got Vidal or Ayuk in the flex. Okay. Kanami Vidal, I understand, was fun. He had the touchdown. But guys, he had 4 rushes for 11 yards. Do not put him in your starting lineup this week. 4 rushes for 11 yards. That's it. That's all he had. It was the J.K. Dobbins show. He doesn't have a 30-yard touchdown. You're not even asking that question. I don't think he gets another 30-yard receiving touchdown this week. So go with Brandon Ayuk and do not put Vidal in your starting lineup this week unless you are like so down bad where your other option is, the 7th string running back for the Tennessee Titans or something like that. Let's see. Debo or Montgomery. I'm still going Debo in this one. Although I always like Monty, but I think this Minnesota Vikings run defense has been very good. Marvin Harrison Jr., Deontay. I have Deontay up as a top 15 option this week against this Washington pass defense. Let's see. Lamar or Baker? Good question. I love Baker this week. Think he's awesome, but I'm going to go with Lamar. I'm going to stick with Lamar. He's my quarterback 1 on the year. Tucker Kraft or Dalton Kincaid? Go Kincaid. Don't get cute with Kraft this week. I understand he's had a couple good weeks. This is the week where I think it's the down week against a very good Texans defense against tight ends. Let's see. Jameson Williams, Tyreek, or Devonta Smith. I am going to go with, and I got to pick 2. I'm going to go with Tyreek and Devonta. I don't really think you can go wrong with Davante any week, and then I'm still trusting Tyreek right now. If you're looking between the Indianapolis Colts running backs, I'm going with Trey Sermon on that. For those on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, you can't see it, but over on TikTok, we do have our starts of the week. We got Kirk Cousins and Baker Mayfield at the quarterback position, Chuba Hubbard, J.K. Dobbins at the running back position, Terry McLaurin, Jordan Addison, T. Higgins at our wide receiver, and David Njoku at the tight end. These are guys that we talked about in more length on our podcast, which you can find on YouTube over Fantasy Football Fellas. But those are guys that we are very confident, me and Tyler, this week in what they're going to do. I love J.K. Dobbins. I love Chuba Hubbard as, guys that you probably were thinking are your running back 3, 4. Now they could be running back 1s on the week this week. Brock Purdy or Josh Allen. I'm going with Josh Allen. Debo or Higgins. Give me Higgins this week. Do we trust Davante Adams? So here's the thing. Davante Adams, Amari Cooper. I trust Davante. Amari Cooper, I'm a little more iffy on. Davante, I just trust going into Nathaniel Hackett's system, going into, coming in with Aaron Rodgers. They have the rapport. They have the trust. Amari Cooper's going in a brand new situation, both coming off of, only 3 or 4 days of practice. So let's see. Garrett Wilson or Amari Cooper then. I'm still leaning Garrett Wilson, but I do think that I think that it could be pretty close between the two. Jameson Williams or Monty. I'm going to go JMO. No, I'm not. I lied. JMO sounds fun, but I'm going to go Monty. I'm going to be smart with that one. I've said a couple times, I think my Vikings run defense is very good. But if we're banking on anybody to score this week, probably should be putting money on David Montgomery. Tyreek or T. Higgins. I do have T. Higgins over Tyreek. He's one of the few that, I think kind of sneaks in this week the way he's been playing. Miami's just such a question mark. I'd go T. Higgins over Tyreek for sure. CJ or Kyler. I got CJ slightly ahead of Kyler this week. Just a better matchup. I think more points are going to be scored in that one. Mark Andrews or Tucker Kraft. Ooh. Oh, I don't like either. Don't want either. Stop asking me that. Let's consult the rankings and then I'll blame it on those. I have Mark Andrews 1 spot ahead of Tucker Kraft. So I'm leaning Mark Andrews. If he puts up a 0 for you, don't blame me. That has to be a choice you got to make. I don't want to put that on anybody. Terry or Godwin? I'm going Godwin. I got it. This Baltimore defense given to the second most pass yards. Chris Godwin's been on fire. I understand Terry's been playing very good against a bad Panthers defense, but I'm going with Godwin over Terry this week. Terry or Malik? I like that question as well. I'm going Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is healthy. Got to start Malik Neighbors, especially against this Eagles pass defense. NFC East matchup. I'm going with Malik Neighbors over him. Achane or Brees? Go with Brees. Just like I said, the Miami defense, Miami offense, I'm trusting them a little more coming out of the bye. However, if you got a guy like Brees Hall, if you got a guy like Derrick Henry, if you got a guy like Kenneth Walker, Jahmyr Gibbs, Joe Mixon, who we know has been producing very well, start them. Go with the for sure thing there. Kareem Hunt or Jahmyr Gibbs, go Jahmyr Gibbs. Don't even think about that one twice. James Cook or Jameson Williams. As long as James Cook is playing, I'm going James Cook. Jalen Hurts or Sam Darnold. You know what? I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts pretty easily on that one. I think Sam Darnold could have a very good game against this Lions secondary, right? They're a pass funnel defense. They want to stop you at the point of attack. Don't want to let you run. They want you to throw the ball. But it's Jalen Hurts against the Giants. Hard one to pass up on. Josh Downs or Jordan Addison. I'm going to go with Jordan Addison in that one. I think that Addison is just going to have, like I said, I was just talking about this Lions defense. I think he's going to have a good week because I think they're going to be forced to pass the ball. I think they're going to be forced to move the ball. And I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And Josh Downs, playing a tough Miami pass defense. Anthony Richardson's first game back, which could be really good, but it could also mean, hey, we're only going to throw the ball 20 times. If you're only throwing the ball 20 times for a guy who needs volume, right, it just doesn't work out very well. That's why we've been more out on Michael Pittman Jr. so far this season. Kareem Hunt or Chase Brown this week. This is another one I'm going to consult the rankings. I got Chase Brown 1 spot higher than Kareem Hunt. Chase Brown's my running back 25. Kareem Hunt, my running back 26. So I lean Chase Brown, but I don't think you can go wrong with either. Amari Cooper or Deebo Samuel. Go Deebo Samuel. I think Amari Cooper could have bigger weeks in the future. I just don't really want to trust it right now this week. Short week coming in to Buffalo. Let's see. We then got Xavier Worthy or Amari Cooper. I'm gonna go with Amari in that one. I think Xavier Worthy is going to be very good coming out of the bye. He was one of my top buy candidates this week. He was a guy I said to go get, and that's because I think the Chiefs are going to really utilize him coming out of the bye. But I'm going to take Amari Cooper in that one. That's for sure. Dalton Schultz or Tucker Kraft. That's a tough one. That one's gross. I don't love either this week. But I think I am slightly more. No, I am more of a Tucker Kraft fan. So we're gonna go Tucker Kraft still. I would say away if I can from Tucker Kraft, but I understand tight ends have been gross. You might not have a choice right now. Goff or Purdy this week. Go with Jared Goff. Go with Jared Goff against the Minnesota Vikings. Jared Goff lights them up. Jared Goff plays very well against the Vikings. Go with Jared Goff this week. Jordan Love or Sam Darnold. I'm gonna go with Jordan Love. All right, Burrow, Baker, or Love. You got Jamar Chase, so you could go with the stack here. That's interesting. I'm gonna go with. Oh, man, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with Baker. I got Baker as a top 6 option. I'm gonna go with Baker this week. I am. But if you want the stack, I understand. If you want to stack Jamar Chase and Burrow, you know what? Personally, I think Burrow and Baker are close enough that you could for sure go with Burrow there. James Conner, Tyrone Tracy, or Josh Jacobs pick 2. I'm gonna go with Conner and Jacobs. Devin Singletary's playing. Tracy's supposed to still have a decent workload, but when you go from 100% to 50%, right? I just don't. You just don't know how it's gonna look. Mike Evans or Tyreek Hill this week. Give me. Give me Mike Evans. I'm gonna go with Mike Evans. I think he's the safer option. Right. I mean, he was a little bit banged up, but playing Baltimore, Tyreek, you just don't know how it's going to look. TikTok, I see you creeping up on 3,000 likes over there. I want to thank you very much for that. James Cook or Jahmyr Gibbs this week. I'm still going Gibbs. Still think that, you draft him at the end of this first round, beginning of the second round for a reason. We've seen glimpses of that so far this year. I'm going to keep Jahmyr Gibbs in my lineup. Trey McBride or David Njoku, go McBride in this one. I missed the opening of my Dr. Pepper. I'm trusting in Trey McBride. I think that, Marvin Harrison has been good. He hasn't been everything we were hoping. Trey McBride's still the number 1 in this offense, and I think that continues against the Chargers this week. Hunt or Singletary. I'm going to go Hunt or Singletary and then pick 2 out of Pickens. Marvin, Waddle. I'm going to go Marv, and I'm going to go Waddle in that one. I just don't trust Pickens this week at all. Kenneth Walker, Aaron Jones. I'm going to go with Aaron Jones over Kenneth. No, I'm not. What am I saying? I'm going to go Kenneth Walker or Aaron Jones. I'm just speaking. I saw the purple. I saw the Viking in my own reflection. I was like, oh, I got to go Aaron Jones. But no, Kenneth Walker's the easy pick there over Aaron Jones for sure. Over on TikTok, is it time to drop Keon Coleman? Interesting question. I think you can. I really do. I think he waited long enough. We just haven't seen it. Right. I think he was a guy that we knew it might need a little bit more time. He might need a little more time to kind of come into his own. And so, yeah, Keon Coleman, I think you can drop as of right now. Aaron Jones or James Cook? I'm going to go with James Cook over Aaron Jones. Again, I love Aaron Jones, obviously. Vikings fan, right? And nowadays a Viking. Now he's not killing my Vikings twice a year. I love Aaron Jones. The issue is Detroit's run defense has been phenomenal for 2 years in a row now. I just am not testing them if I can avoid it. So I'm going to stay away from Aaron Jones in that one. David Njoku or Tucker Kraft, go Njoku. Pickens, Ladd, or Josh Downs. Let's consult the rankings on that again. If you want the rankings, they're in our Discord. You can find that in our bio, or if you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, you can find those in the description of the video that you are watching right now. Looks like I do have Josh Downs the highest out of the 3. I got Ladd slightly behind him. Then I got Pickens a couple more spots down. So I would say Josh Downs. I understand, okay, it could be tough, but I'm gonna go Josh Downs. Breece Hall or Tony Pollard? Don't get cute. Start Breece Hall. T or Tank? I'm gonna go with T slightly ahead of Tank. T ranked 2 spots ahead of Tank right now, so I'm gonna go with T Higgins over Tank. Baker or Jordan Love? I got Baker this week slightly. They're both very high on my rankings, but I'm going Baker. Higgins or Davante Adams? Good question. I like Davante Adams a lot. Obviously, playing with Aaron Rodgers this week. Could be big. I'm still going to stick with T, stick with more of the for sure thing. Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker. I got Breece Hall slightly ahead of Walker, but the way Walker's been playing, that could look pretty stupid pretty quick because the dude is on fire. Josh Allen or Kirk Cousins, go Josh Allen. He's a top 5 QB for me each week. James Conner or Josh Jacobs. I'm going to go with James Conner, Josh Jacobs. James Conner, Josh Jacobs. I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs in this one. I just don't love the matchup for James Conner against the Chargers. Over on YouTube, Kareem Hunt or Jordan Mason. I'm going Jordan Mason still over Kareem Hunt. Anthony Richardson or Kyler Murray. I'm going with Kyler Murray this week. Where did that one go? Come here. Brian Robinson Jr. or Nick Chubb. Give me Brian Robinson Jr. this week. Let's see. Come on. Where'd it go? Amari or Flowers. I'm going to go with Zay Flowers over Amari against this Bucs defense. Bucs are giving up the 4th most passing yards on the season so far. So I'm going to go with Zay Flowers over Amari Cooper. Over on the TikTok, what do we got over here? Addison or Waddle. I'm going Jordan Addison this week. Obviously going Jordan Addison. Let's see. Baker or Hurts. I'm going to go with Hurts. Let's see. Let's see. Kareem or Josh Downs. Let's go with Josh Downs over Kareem. Alrighty, guys. I am gonna have to head off here real quick. So I will catch you guys later. Good luck this week.